Hey, good morning, folks. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Yes, new year, slightly new weather pattern. Not anything that's real crazy just yet as far as heading into severe winter weather, but we'll keep an eye on it. But it does look like we'll ease back to highs in the 30s and maybe even at some point this week, a day Thursday, a high temperature in the upper 20s. Imagine that. That's after, and I already have a post up about this on MLive this morning. That's after most spots the second warmest December on record back into the 1880s. So it was significant. And Muskegon and the western part of the UP set all-time record warm Decembers. Hey, good morning there, Kenny Russo. Thanks for watching. And Ed Johnson, good morning from Waterford. And Rhonda Brewington, good morning too. This is the MLive Morning Weather Update with me, Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. One word of caution for this afternoon and this evening: a slight patch of freezing drizzle could come across lower Michigan. Not real organized, not showing up in the modeling, but we know from experience that this is the kind of weather setup that produces perhaps patchy freezing drizzle, and that can be really kind of sneaky. So here we go. This is the radar right now. The only thing showing up on radar is up across the Keweenaw Peninsula, some snow and maybe perhaps freezing drizzle. So there isn't a large pattern or anything coming toward us. And in fact, it looks fairly dry for this time of the year, through most of this week. So here is the radar forecast. And you'll see that even though I'm talking about some freezing drizzle, it doesn't even really show up on the radar forecast. So it's just something where you have to kind of keep an eye out on the road, and if you start to see that glisten, then you know that something could be going on. So radar forecast through the day. And here we go. Yeah, I know. I saw that, John. I had a little typo. Hey, I've been off for a week, so as we go through the night tonight, you see the snow showers coming into northern lower Michigan. And, Traverse City area, Charlevoix, Petoskey, you could have an inch or so of accumulation. We get kind of excited about that or feel like it's, wow, snow has returned. When in December, Grand Rapids only had 1.3 inches of snow, the least snowiest December ever in Grand Rapids, and now only about 4 inches so far for the year. Okay, so I've been talking about we will have a slight pattern change. Remember, I like to look at this with you. This is the upper level pattern. Where you see red or orange, that means that the upper level is warmer than normal and usually leads to a warmer than normal surface. When you see blue and green and purple, that means the upper level is getting colder than normal, and then it tends to bring colder than normal weather into our area. And you'll see just a subtle pattern shift to returning to about normal. But it's going to take several days, and I'm not convinced it's a shift into winter for permanent winter weather. I'm thinking it's probably a week type thing, lasting a week, maybe a week out from now, and then lets up. And not to say that we'll go back to early December warmth, but we may let back up on some cold and back into the 30s or so. So here we go with the forecast. This is going to go out 10 days. So again, now and tomorrow, there's our little cold front coming through for tomorrow, and it cools us down for Thursday. And remember, the upper level temperatures, they don't always translate immediately to upper level or cold here at the ground or warmth at the ground. So this is into Friday. Again, still the whole story though is not a major pattern shift or something like that. And then this is Sunday, and Monday And the storm out on the western horizon, it's still 9 days out. And in this El Nino, strong, developed El Nino, I wouldn't necessarily believe it because we've had a few of these already in the last month that look like they would develop into pretty strong systems and don't. But several models have it, and the ensembles of these models have it. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But this would be next Wednesday, and an upper level system may come toward us. That will be a snowstorm somewhere in Michigan or the Great Lakes. And then as we look out to January 12th, another cold trough in the west heading out. And so you could say that it looks like we might get into a few week pattern of some storm systems. So here's the surface weather accompanied with that. Again, the freezing drizzle barely showing up this afternoon and this evening. And then tomorrow, this is tomorrow afternoon and evening, cold front drops south and some snow showers around. We'll call it an inch. Not even much lake effect with this. And then we go to Thursday, dry but pretty cold. High on Thursday in the upper 20s. Imagine that. It's going to feel like winter. Friday, pretty quiet. The weekend storm system looks like it could be a strong one out on the East Coast, and we tend to not have much when that happens on the back side of it because most of the energy will be focused along the East Coast, and that's also a classic El Nino pattern that could develop here in January and February, storms along the East Coast. Now we're into Monday and Tuesday of next week, and if you are a snow lover, your hopes have to wait out to about Tuesday, January 9th, Wednesday, January 10th. Something like that would certainly be a wind-driven snow, but again, bear in mind that that's quite a ways out on the modeling, although it does show up and it does seem reasonable as far as the situation. So, today, cool, but warmer than normal. Our normal highs now are 32 to 34. Most of us in the southern half of the state will be 35 to 39. If you see a touch of sunshine in the Saginaw area, you could make it to 39, Midland 38. Tomorrow, temperatures again in the upper 30s, much of the state. Traverse City, maybe 34-ish. Thursday, winter. Imagine that. And so there we are on Thursday, highs in the upper 20s. Back to the mid-30s Friday. Saturday, mid-30s. Sunday, mid to upper 30s. Monday, maybe near 40 ahead of that storm system. And then that storm system on Wednesday, temperatures around freezing. So even there, it would struggle to be all snow. And behind it, you don't really see any big push of cold air. So, we're getting there toward winter. If you want winter, we are going to have just slight bouts of winter so far, what we call it, if you're digging this warm December so far and warm winter. But we'll keep an eye on that storm system. 9 days out, I'm calling it, next Wednesday. Still too far out to really pin down any details or believe it just yet. But if it gets to 6 and 7 days out, a couple of days from now, the end of this week, then I think we can start to believe what we're seeing, especially if several models are all saying the same thing. Well, there you have it. That's the MLive Morning Weather Update. It's pretty short and sweet, but just watch out for some freezing drizzle, patchy freezing drizzle, perhaps this afternoon and this evening. Make things slick. Otherwise, we should have pretty good travel conditions through this week. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great day. Bye.